Hello, it's December 2020, and I'm posting a Qigong video I recorded 20 years ago in the hopes that it can help people today stay healthy during the pandemic. Please note, we filmed this in Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is at 2,500 meters or 7,500 feet altitude. The air is thinner there, so your heart beats faster and you breathe a bit faster. In other words, the moves you're about to see are probably going to be too fast for you. Once you get the hang of them, I suggest you close your eyes now and then, relax so that your breathing slows naturally, and then let your movement follow your breath, which may be slower than what you will see here in this video. Thank you, and enjoy.
Welcome to our Yin and Yang Qigong class, and a method of managing your health that's been practiced since ancient times. In China, Qigong has been recognized since about 200 BC as one of the 4 major divisions of medicine. Qigong means to train or work with the life force energy in your body, which the Chinese call Qi. It's the same energy that we work with in acupuncture. Qigong is a form of gentle, relaxed exercise that's renowned for giving us more energy, for protecting us against disease, enhancing our mind's abilities, and even slowing the aging process, all by regulating our qi. Now, with some training, you'll be able to sense the qi in your body, and with practice, you'll be able to influence it. You've already taken the first step through the door to Qigong. In the upcoming class, we're going to be practicing about 20 minutes of standing movements, followed by about 20 minutes of sitting down exercises. Now, you can view this tape in 2 parts or all at once. If you plan on doing the second part, be sure to have a chair standing by. At the end of the tape, there's further information about this particular form of Qigong, so you may want to view that before participating in the class. Please remember to go at your own pace, know your limits, and alter the movements as necessary to protect your body. Okay, let's begin by placing our feet shoulders width and parallel. Be sure you don't place them too wide and not too narrow. Just go a little bit more narrow there, Bob, and you've got it. Good, looks good. And a lot of times people put their feet a little bit out and it feels like their feet are still parallel. Make sure you bring those toes in so that you're nice and straight. Everybody just double check there. That's going to allow us to sit back and open up our lower back a little bit more, which is also an important part. Make sure that when you bend your knees that you fold back at the hip joint. A lot of people will tend to bend like this and they'll miss this part here. That actually puts a strain on your back. So sit back at the hip just a little bit and feel that lower back opening and relaxing. Okay, very good. So let's close our eyes for just a moment and get into our bodies a little bit. Just relaxing. Feel your shoulders dropping down. Your neck is long as if being pulled up by a silken thread at the top and back of your head. Relax between your eyebrows, getting rid of the little wrinkles there. Relax your jaw. Feel the front of your heart nice and soft and open, the backs of the shoulder blades open, the hands even open, the palms of your hands, letting the energy go down to your fingertips. Relax your stomach muscles and feel that relaxation go all the way around to your lower back. Your knees are unlocked, your feet spreading out onto the earth. You feel an energy lifting up your spine and the weight of your body sinking down and relaxing a root into the ground. Breathe deeply from your lower abdomen. And we'll begin with the neutral move. So fold at your hip joint and just bring your hands up to shoulder height and then form a ball right in front of your heart. Push forward and then settle down. And we're just going to repeat this move several times. So out to the sides and together, forward and down. Imagine that the air around you is thick with energy and that you can feel that as you gently push and pull, feeling the air moving through your fingers. Very good. And then adding in the breathing. So breathe in to expand and breathe out to pull the energy back to your heart. And then breathe in and out. Always follow your breath. Let your breathing take over and lead you through the moves. Very good. Imagine that you're opening up the gates of the shoulders, elbows, and wrists with each extension. And every time you drop down, imagine you're sitting down at the hip joint, dropping and releasing your lower back. Good. I like to imagine that I have yo-yos on my fingertips and I fling them out 50 feet in both directions and they bounce back to center. And then as you're pushing forward, it goes 50 feet forward and also back behind you and then down. So just imagine that you're moving the chi beyond the limits of your own body. There's also an up and down vertical power current. As you rise up, you feel the energy up above your head. And as you sink down, you drop it into the earth. So you're balancing out from side to side when your arms come to the sides. And then you're balancing out front and back as you push forward. And then you're balancing up and down every time you go up and down. That's why this move is called the neutral move. It's neither yin nor yang. It balances out the body in all directions. And it's especially good for the heart and lungs, the upper jiao. One last time. And now going into the waterfall. So bring the hands up over the top of the head and let the water pour down. In breath up and out breath down. Very good. Imagine a crystalline waterfall pouring down over the top of your head, gently washing away any stress and tension. Every in-breath, your hands come up. Out-breath, feel the energy sinking down, as if your hands were moving right through the center of your body and dropping down to the earth. The waterfall is considered a yin move, so it's especially good for grounding us downward, gets us out of our head if we've been thinking too much, and it's really renowned for lowering blood pressure, so keep that in mind. After a hard day's work, it's nice to do a little bit of the waterfall to kind of calm down. Okay, one more time. Good. And now we're going to reverse it. This move is called the fountain, and we're lifting the energy up. Now, if you have high blood pressure, you might want to continue with the waterfall or just take a break, because this one will actually lift your energy up. This is our yang move called the fountain. Just imagine you can feel that energy bubbling up from the soles of your feet, and you feel it energizing your spine and shooting out the top of your head like a giant geyser. And if you really want to lift your energy, focus on the upward movement and just sort of ignore the downward movement. This move is particularly good for 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you're feeling a little sluggish and you want to lift your energy. Just bring that energy up. That's it, good. One more time. And hands down to hip height, and now we're just going to wag the dragon's tail. So just shifting back and forth, just wagging the dragon's tail. Feel the hands slowly drifting across the surface of a clear pool. Shift the weight from side to side, get those legs a little loosened up. And your hands are lowering the qi after that yang movement back down to hip height to help settle the qi back in the dantian. And then bring the energy back to your center underneath your lower abdomen. Good. Time for going into our side-to-side balancing exercises. We'll start by dropping at the hip joint again. Make sure you sit back, Felice. Good. And then we bring the hands up. Good. And turn them over. Push down. Very good. In breath and out breath. Be careful not to lift your chest when you do this. Keep your chest nice and relaxed. We're just bringing the energy up to the waist height. And you'll feel yourself dropping your lower back and relaxing your stomach muscles. Good. Now I'm going to ask you to take that into your right leg. So on the next in-breath, just pull it over and take it down into your right leg. Then in-breath up, out-breath down. Good. In-breath, out-breath. Good. And then shifting the weight, see if you can almost pick up the empty foot. So you want to drop down till you can feel as though one foot is lifting off the ground. This is very good for improving your balance. Make sure to keep your body upright. You're balancing the top of your head right over the sole of your foot. That's it. Very good. Good. Now we're just going to continue with that same movement and just turn slightly at the hip joint. You want to feel yourself folding at what we call the inguinal groove or the qua. And your dantian, your center, is turning from side to side. So you breathe in and then out. In and out. And you feel this fold. Keep your knees straight ahead and just feel that gentle shift and turn. Good. If you let your hands hang down, you can see that the opposite hand is coming in front of the opposite leg. Good. Now I'm going to mirror you. Take your right hand, bring it up and across. And your left hand up and across. In breath, out breath. In breath, and out. This move's called hands in clouds. And so you want to feel your hands just feather light, as if pulling spider webs of light across the sky. Breathing gently. All of your weight is still in your lower body. Your legs are heavy. You're dropping and relaxing your lower back. Remember that you're turning from the hip, and that's doing all of the movement. Your hands are just floating lightly through the air like clouds. Your lower body is still grounded downward, firmly rooted in the earth. And keep your nose right over your stomach as you turn from side to side. It's almost like your body is a flagpole and your arms are the silken banners floating in the wind. Very good. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. Okay, now scoop in that good qi, bring it back to your center, and gather it up into the dantian. If your hands feel good, place them on your lower abdomen. If for some reason they don't feel good, just let them hang down and unload some of that excess qi. Okay, a little bit of the bear just to loosen up. Let's just let our back relax, loosening up, swinging the arms loosely. And just imagine you're a big, heavy bear. This is actually not from the yin and yang forms. This is from the 5 animal forms, Qigong. But it's an excellent way to loosen up a little bit. And the 5 animals involve both the bear, the deer, the monkey, the tiger, the crane. Another wonderful set of Qigong exercises. Okay, so checking your feet, still parallel, shoulders width. We're going to continue with side-to-side balancing exercises. So remember that when we were doing the waterfall and the fountain, that they're up and down balancers. And then we got into the side-to-side balancer called hands in clouds. These are 2 more side-to-side balancers which work really well together, called center line balancing and pushing through. Here we go. Hands up to the top, palms together, and then gently bring that energy down. When you get to the heart, just let your hands fall over and slowly let that energy go down. Very good. Up to the top and down. When you get to the heart, make sure your shoulders stay down as you turn those hands over and then bring the energy down. And it's an in-breath and then dropping down, in and out. So this is a nice big reach. And then when you come down, keep your shoulders down and relaxed. Be sure you're sitting back at the hip joint, dropping your lower back. Just imagine you're going to pull down a piece of beautiful clear blue sky. Let that come down through the top of your head and settle all the way down through that central power current. In-breath up, out-breath down. Shoulders down and relaxed. Feel the right half and the left half of your body meeting right at the center, and you're drawing where that center line is, really moving the chi into position. This is a very good move if you have an achy shoulder or knee or hip on one side of the body. If it seems like one side of your body is weaker than the other, this one's going to help to balance it out. Good. Now we're going to go to pushing through. So hands out to shoulder height and push the energy across the center. Opening up, and then the hands cross and they swing down. Breathing in and out. So this move works very closely together with the center line balancing, because now we're blending and mixing the two halves of our body. So just imagine that you're pulling the right half through the left half, pressing them through. In-breath and out-breath. Keep switching off which hand you're putting in front. And imagine that there's a giant filter going through the center of your body, and you're balancing out both sides as you push yin over to yang and yang over to yin. Every time your arms open, you're opening up the gates of the shoulders again, opening up the hips, and then you close. It's almost like a book that opens and then closes. So just pushing through. And one last time. And now back up to the top. Way up. Now very slowly, as if you're pulling down spider webs of light, just gently drop the energy downward. Very slowly finding that center line. And then dropping it down through the stomach and the hips down into the earth. And again. And like molasses in the springtime, just let it melt slowly downward. Rebalancing, feeling the energy passing from your hands, through the hands, from the right to the left side, and all the way down. This time we'll bring the hands up again. And now we're going to work with the different energy centers in the body. So let's stop right over the top of our head. And imagine you have like a little force field between your hands. You're just going to open up, gently working that energy right over the top of your head. Try to keep your shoulders down and relaxed. And just expand the energy. It's known as Bai Hui or Do 20 in Chinese medicine. And then come down to your forehead and just open that up. Put a little smile there. Just imagine you've got that internal smile going. Good. Just opening up, relaxing those little wrinkles on the forehead. And then come down to the nose and imagine the energy field there around the sinuses. If you have problems with sinus infections, breathe deeply and feel the energy releasing and opening through the nose, especially if you have one side of the nose that's a little bit more clogged. Good. And then down to the jaw, in case you have any TMJ or problems with the tension that you might clench your teeth or something like that. Just work the jaw area. And the ears, if you have any hearing problems, right? Can you feel the energy? Can you feel that energy in your hands? Isn't that incredible? It's really good. You can feel maybe a little warmth or tingling, and just move that energy to help improve your hearing, help any problems with your ears, like ringing in the ears. Then we can come down to the throat. When I'm teaching all day, sometimes my throat gets a little tired, so I put the energy here, really working with that chakra. Good. And then we can put a smile down in our heart and open up the heart here as we work. You might want to just add your legs in just a little bit, feeling yourself softening the legs. And also, if you tend to have any shoulder problems, here's a really good one. Just take, let's say you have problems with your right shoulder. I'm going to mirror you. Just peel away your right arm right now and push out. Just see if you can feel that energy. pushing out. And feel the connection between your right hand and your left hand as you do that. Oh, can you feel a little tension right there? Can you feel it? Very gently come back in. Might want to bend at your knees now again. Bring it, and you can feel it gathering here at your center again. You got it? And then pull over to your left side. Now, or you'll see this. Yeah, this is your left. If you're doing this and you have an injured side, you could do it always on the side that's weaker. You could do several repetitions on that particular weaker side. Sometimes you have bursitis in the shoulders or arthritis in the joints, tendonitis, those kinds of things. It's really good for helping to open that up and feel the energy coming back in. Really work it very gently, breathing deeply. And make sure you keep your stomach muscles relaxed and drop your lower back. Good, okay. So again, we're just opening up the heart there. Breathing deeply. I usually start to use my legs a little bit here, really feeling the energy pumping through the heart. And then the stomach. Feel that tangible energy working into the stomach area. And again, sitting back at the hips, go to the lower dantian, the lower abdomen where we house so much of our vital energy. Just feel that expansion with your hands. Good, and then bring your hands back to your dantian. We're going to start by doing our front and back exercises now. Balancing out the front and back means working with the spine. So imagine you're going to sit back at the hips as if you're going to sit in a chair. And then just scoop your hips forward and roll up your back, rolling all the way up your spine. That's it. Scoop and let the energy come all the way up to your neck. Now be sure to just let your arms dangle. You don't have to do anything with your shoulders. Let your hips do all the work. So just loosening up the spine. Should be able to feel almost every vertebrae there. Just gently circling through and releasing any tension. Very good. Now we're going to add the hands. So the backs of the hands come together and zippering up the front and then palm up, down in front. And in-breath and out-breath. That's it. So it's right in close to your body and then the hands come down the front. And this is just mirroring the microcosmic orbit. The energy rising up the yang meridian in the back and down the red meridian in the front. Let's do one more. And now bring the hands way up over the top of your head. And now we're just going to hang down and stretch downward. Just relax your head and neck. And hands on the knees. Let's roll up. And now we're going to add the breathing. So breathing in as you come up. Breathe out and pull the energy down into the earth. Then breathing in, come up to the knees. And breathing out, roll up. So keep it a continuous circle as you stretch upward and then forward and down. In-breath to the knees and out-breath, rolling up. Imagine that you're grabbing a blanket and pulling it down over the top of your head, sending the energy deep into the earth, and then pull that energy up your legs, let it rise up your spine again. One more time. And out. In-breath to the knees. And let's reach the hands way up to the top. Reach up. And now we're going to reverse the move. So we're going to dive down and in. So sliding along the front of your body. Just slide all the way down to the ground. And now bend your knees and look up at me. Hands out. So it's diving down. And look up and lift. Bring it up. And diving down again. So this one's going to go the opposite direction of the microcosmic orbit, working the other energies. It might be a little bit hard on your back, so be careful if you have any back problems. You might want to skip this one. It's an in-breath up and one out-breath down. One last time. And reach it way up to the top. Let's stop here. And then just let your hands wiggle and waterfall down. Drop the energy down. Hands back to the dantian. Good. Okay, some knocking and pounding. Let's loosen it up. That ends our balancing out from up and down, side to side, and front and back. And now we're almost ready for our sitting down exercises. So we're just going to pound the energy through the joints to open them up, energize them. We've got all this good energy in our hands now. And shoulders and knees. Now let's move down here. This one can be confusing, but it's a good one. Try to see if you can bend all the way down and actually get your knees, because you don't want to, you want to put energy through the joints, through the body. Yes, good. Use your knees so you don't end up working your back too hard. Switch off which hand goes on top, okay? You want to stay nice and balanced. Very good. And now, pounding the lower back. So gently swinging your hands to the back. You want to basically move the hands to the sacral area, massaging the lower back. Go all the way up to the kidney area. Very good. Okay. And then 2 dragons coil around the golden column. So we just turn like this, and then we come up to the middle, and then we come up to the shoulders. And then the middle again. Good. And then the lower hip again. And back to the middle. This is really good for loosening up the spine. Okay, now going to the top of the shoulder, let's pound down the top of the shoulder and come all the way down to the fingertips and up underneath. Pounding really good at the armpit for the lymph system. And then the top of the arm coming down and up underneath for the bottom. And we're going to keep doing the same arm 3 times to help move the energy through the channels. Then we'll go to the other side. Bring the energy down the arm. Give it a nice firm pat all the way up to the armpit. And then again, down that same arm, unblocking those meridians. Sort of like dredging a canal. And one more time. And pay attention if you have any sore spots in the arm, because if you have some tendonitis in your arm, you can hit that area a little bit extra if you feel any problems there. Okay, good. Now the fun part, the legs. Let's go down to the legs and down the front of the legs and up the back of the legs. And down the front, coming up the back. And when you go down the front, get all the front muscles. When you come up the back, be sure to get your calves, get your thighs really good, get those buttocks really good. One more time, down and up, energizing. Okay, take a breath. And now the sides of the legs, tops of the legs down. Switch to the other side and just go top down. So first you're doing one leg and then the other. And then down over here. And again, nice firm pats. Keep bending your knees and not straining your back. Okay, good. Up to your stomach. Catch your breath. Down on your left and up on your right. So this means we're going in the direction of the colon. So you want to be going down on your left and up on the right side of your body, if you can see that, moving with the colon. Very good. If you happen to have chronic loose stools, you can actually go the other way. You can go down on your right and up on your left. That goes against the colon. And that's also very good. You can sort of tell after a while, once you've been doing Qigong, it feels like you're petting a cat backwards or something. It'll feel good if it's moving in the right direction, and it won't feel right in the other direction. Okay, rubbing your kidneys. Very good. And I think we're ready for the sitting down portion of our class. So grab your chair. Welcome to part 2 of this video, the sitting down exercises. Some people prefer to do this set of exercises at the beginning of their Qigong workout, and other people put it at the end, which is what I like to do because I feel like our hands are all energized with our Qi, and now that can be more effective in our moves as we use that energy from our hands. These movements are often considered range of motion exercises, which means that they're very good for loosening up the joints in our body, stimulating the fluid sac around the joint, which is called the bursa, and that helps to send more nutrients to the joint. We're going to begin by just rubbing our hands together. So just gently rubbing your hands slowly. It's not for generating heat in the hands or anything. We're just sort of peeling off a layer of energy all around the hands. Might even feel a little bit soapy on the hands. And then we're going to wash the face with that energy. So just gently rubbing your face, smoothing out all the meridians in the face. Just give it a nice, gentle massage. rubbing through as if you were moving energy through all the meridians of the face. We can take our thumbs and we can go up to the forehead and just open up the forehead, massaging at the temples. So just imagine you're releasing and opening any tension there and massaging gently. And then take your fingertips and just go lightly on the eyebrows, making little circles, and you'll find indentation points on the eyebrows where you can feel little tender spots. Just massage those in a nice circular motion. Very good for the points of the eyes. And underneath the eyes, very gently, want to be careful. There's tiny capillaries there that we don't want to hurt. And there's a really good point for vision at the end of the eyebrow and just beneath it on the outside of the bone here that you can massage to help stimulate that vision quality, strengthening the vision. Good. And then we can come down along the smile lines of the nose and just stimulate right around the nostrils in the smile lines there. And you might feel some tender spots like right here. Just push gently and massage, breathe deeply. See if you can feel your sinuses opening up. And if you come down right underneath the eyes, on top of the cheekbone, on top of the zygomatic arch, we've got stomach 2, very good acupuncture point, and just underneath, push up underneath, see if you can get stomach 3. These points are very good for allergies as well. And then we can massage the upper gums, massaging and loosening up. Remember that when you brush your teeth, you're mostly massaging your gums. And then the lower gums down here. Very good, just massaging in between the teeth. You can feel the teeth underneath there. And out to the corner of the mandible, you can feel the edge of your jaw. And just in front of that, you'll find the little crease in the muscles there. Just gently massaging right in between those muscles. Very good for TMJ, temporal mandibular joint dysfunction, if you have any tension, if you tend to clench your teeth. Sometimes they say that we hold anger here a little bit. And then we can come up, and right in front of the ears are some very good points. So you want to look for the point right by the ear flap here and see if you can massage right by the flap in front. There's a little indentation. And then just above the bone, there'll be a spot that you can get there. And then beneath the ear flap, underneath that bone, there's a third one. So you can do both sides, and this is very good for tinnitus, which is ringing in the ears, or for hearing problems. And now we're going to massage the whole ear. So just grab onto your ear, do some gentle tugs and pulls, and see if you can really feel yourself massaging that ear. Remember that the ear is like an embryo on its head, so the little head is down here, and you can pinch all the way along up the outside of the ear, and that's where the spine is. Remember that the ear is like a tiny embryo on its head, and so you can pinch all along the edge of the ear, sort of like stimulating your spine. The internal organs are inside the ear, so you can reach in and just push gently on those points. Remember, there's over 300 acupuncture points in the ear. Good. And now we're going to run our fingers through our hair, so just gently moving the energy of the scalp. Massaging, reach in. If you don't want to mess your hair up, just reach in and massage the scalp real good, energizing it. Very good. This is called 7 Dragons Climb the Mountain. And patting the head from front to back. You can either use the flat part of your hand or you can use your fingertips and stimulate that scalp just like when you go to the hairdresser and they give a nice energetic massage to your scalp. Very good. Let's begin by warming up the neck by just opening up the back of the neck. So you want to lace your fingers behind your head and just gently pull forward. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, move the hands down and open up the back of the neck. Remember that the base of the skull also has a lot of tender points on it that you can massage. Very good acupressure points here as well. Some of them that are very good for the sinuses, again, for allergies, and also for insomnia. Okay, and then reach with one hand, back up if you can, underneath your shirt, and just pull forward, pulling forward on that trapezius muscle. Better to have the same arm on the same side of that shoulder, and get your elbow up as high as you can to get a really good range of motion in that joint. And the other side, switching off here, and pulling that energy forward. Feels good, doesn't it? All right. Now that we've got the neck all warmed up, let's begin with our neck exercises. And there's 3 main ones, a couple extras. So we're going to start with the crane drinks water. So the first one, imagine you have a beak on your chin. We're going to send the chin forward and then down, and then tuck it up, pulling the chin back, and lengthening your neck. And then don't tip up too much at the end. Just go like to a normal position. So it's forward and down, pulling back and up. And breathe out as you go down. Breathe in as you come up. Just feel that good stretch extending all the way down through the shoulder blades. You can even imagine that you're grabbing onto the tip of your tailbone with your chin and you're pulling the energy all the way up your spine. Out breath and in breath. When you finish, we can reverse it, so you can tuck your chin in like a turtle pulling back in its shell, and then scoot down the front of your chest, lift the chin up, and then pull back again. In breath coming up, out breath going back. Let's do one more. Just really feeling those neck muscles stretch out. Okay, good. Going into our second exercise, this is our side-to-side neck stretching exercise. So just leaning over to one side, tip your head and stretch out the whole range of that shoulder. I'm going to mirror you, so I'm going over to your right. And then we'll go back over to our left and just stretch out there, lengthening the shoulder, shoulders dropped and down. Good. And then with the breathing, in breath to tip, and out breath coming back. And then the other side, in breath, and out breath. So imagine the chi lifting up out of your spine to the top of your head and then dropping back down into the lower abdomen. And then lifting up again and dropping back. Couple more. I notice those eyes getting all sleepy out there. This is a very relaxing exercise. It's really good for just relaxing the mind as well. Good. Okay, back to center. And this next one's our little yeses. So just make some little yeses. What we're focusing on right now is this hinge joint right at the back of your neck, just to keep that nice and loose. So just little yeses. And then turning all the way over to, let's see, to your right. Okay, let's go over this way. Way behind you. And then slowly come back with little yeses. Good. And then the other side. Way behind you. And slowly back. Good, let's do it again. This is where you just have to think, yes, dear, yes, I know. It's really true. Just say, yes, yes, yes. And the other side. Good. Coming back to center. Very good. And now we're going to go into the eye of the tiger. Okay, it's got a couple of different sections to it. You want to keep your shoulders really straight on this part. So make sure you don't turn at the shoulders, okay? You're just going to be turning your head and neck. Okay, let's start going over to your right again. And the eye of the tiger is very intense. It's not aggressive in any way, but it's basically like a cat that's just seen a mouse. So let's see some energized eyes out there. Oh, very good. Okay, not too serious. Give it a little smile. Okay, and now with those eyes, search for a fly on the wall. And look way behind you. And slowly come back and around. Good, intense eyes. This will energize the brain. It'll bring all the blood and chi up to the eyes. Look way behind you and slowly come back. And we know that the eyes are related to the liver in Chinese medicine. So this is a really good move for smoothing out the chi flow because the liver is responsible for the smooth flow of chi in the body. Coming back, let's look over to your left. In breath. And back again. Out breath. Tiger's eyes. Good. In breath. Make sure your neck stays straight. Don't let it stick out in front too much. And back. One last time over here. And back again. We also know that when we're doing these exercises, the eyes stimulate a lot of functions in the brain. There's a very famous technique out called EMDR, very good eye movement exercises. So what we're going to do is turn the head to one side, and then I'm going to ask you to look forward. So look forward out of the corner of your eye, opposite of the direction that your neck is turning. Let's start to the right, so turning your head over to your right. Hold it there and look forward out of the corner of your eye. And slowly come back. That's it. Good. And now the other side. So we're going to be turning the head, hold it, and look forward out of the corner of your eye. Very good. Again, and it's an in-breath to turn, look forward, and an out-breath to come back. Good. In-breath to turn, and look forward, then out-breath to come back. Good. Make sure you're sitting up nice and straight. Okay. Finally, if you're feeling at all tired, a lot of times you might feel ill or like you don't have a lot of energy, then you can close your eyes for this move, and this actually helps to energize you. You close your eyes and you focus on your forehead right here. So imagine you have like a miner's cap on with the light shining out of your forehead, okay? Close your eyes and just turn your head over to the right and shine that light way behind you to the right. And then slowly come back and imagine you're shining that light across the room as if you could see through your eyelids and you could turn all the way over to your left and see the room as you slowly turn, coming back to center. And just feel that nice energy in the center of your forehead as you turn to your right and smiling in that forehead area, coming back to center and turning to your left again. Very good, coming back. So you can pick whatever part of those exercises that you really like to use for the whole set. Okay, now it's time for our eye exercises. We already done a little bit with the one in between move there, and now we really want to work the eyes. So I'd like you to pick a spot on the wall behind me, okay? And that's your resting gaze area, okay? So just pick a spot opposite you, and that's where you're going to just be focusing without moving your nose or your head, okay? So that stays fixed, and we're just going to move the eyes, okay? So staring straight ahead, and now look from your right to your left, just using your eyes, back and forth, a little bit quick, and just see if you can see as far as you can on either side 5 or 6 times, and then come back to center and just relax. Give your eyes a little break. Okay, good. Now let's look above and beneath you. So way up above your head on the ceiling and way beneath you on the ground. Exercise those eyes back and forth, a little faster. Try not to move your head. And relax. And you can feel it. Can you guys feel it? It's like you can feel those muscles working. And now doing diagonals. So just turning up to the corner and down. So looking way up high and all the way down, back and forth, several times. And really stretch it, because sometimes you aren't looking as far as you can, but try not to move your head. And relax. And now the opposite angle from here and down. So just turning up to the side and down, doing another diagonal. Far as you can reach with those eyes. Try to keep your neck relaxed. And relax. And now let's cover those eyes with our hands. Let's give them a break. So gently cupping your hands over your eyes, create nice little dark hollows around your eyes. Don't put too much pressure there, just a nice soft touch. And just half open your eyes inside and gaze into the darkness and feel the energy of the palms of your hands penetrating deeply into the eyes and nurturing them. This is actually a very good thing to do 2 or 3 times a day, especially if you're sitting in front of a computer screen or something and you get a lot of short-range vision. It's strenuous to the eyes. Just giving them a rest like this for a couple minutes every hour actually helps improve your vision. Okay, good. Relaxing. Now, let's wake up. Let's scoop to the front of our chairs a little bit. Hands up on your shoulders, everybody, and let's go into our shoulder exercises. So nice big circles, just opening up the shoulder joint. See if you can touch your elbows in front. Okay, good. And then a couple of shoulder drops, just plopping energy down. Loosen up any tension in there. Just let it go. And then just your right side, I'll mirror you. And just your left side. Very good. And then alternating. Oh, you guys are good. Very good. Just plopping down that energy. Okay. Now that we've got our shoulders a little bit loosened up, let's do some shoulder stretches. Now, these aren't too easy, but just go at your own pace. See if you can touch 3 fingers together. And if you can do that, go a little further. See if you can touch 4 fingers in your thumb. And then if you can, go a little bit further up. Now, most people don't get this flex. You guys are having a hard time, right? It's a little bit strange. How you doing, Bernie? You look pretty good there. All right, good. All right, Jose, very good. But just do whatever you can, because this is just about stretching out. Place the backs of your hands on your kidneys and just give it a nice, good stretch. Very good. Okay, here's a couple more. Place your hand behind you as far as you can. Get it up as high as you can. And then put that other hand way up by your ear and bend down. And if you can touch, you've already got an A+. Okay, this is a hard move. Go ahead and try a little bit, Felice, just to get a good stretch. Oh, that's right. If you happen to have problems with your shoulder or your elbow and you can't do this move, just take a break. So just see if you can reach. If you can touch, great. And if you can, pull. And here's the bad news. That's usually the good side. Okay, so let's switch it off. Go to your other side. See if you can reach over this way. Okay, and see if you can grab on it. Even if you can get close, most people are about 6 inches, just get a good stretch going there. Okay, good. Do some snakes for me now. Just stretch those arms out any direction you want, up and down and out, just to loosen up those shoulders. So those exercises are just good to keep trying at. Doesn't matter how good you are at them. The whole idea is to practice. Make sure you use all your fingers whenever you do snakes, because you want to make sure you're keeping those meridians that end and begin in your fingers very active. Now we're going to start with the wrist exercises. So let's just circle our wrists, getting a good range of motion going there. And you'll notice that we already did work the head and the face and the neck and the shoulders, and we've come down to the wrists. We aren't going to do the elbows or the knees because those are basically hinged joints. We've already exercised them through all of our Qigong movements. So we're just going to be circling here at the wrists and switching off the other direction. And just put your mind and intent there and see what happens as you focus your mind on feeling what's happening in your wrists. You might notice a few snap, crackle, and pops. And now for our stretches, let's put our fingertips in and our hands palm down. And we're just going to push the back of our forearm towards the back of our hand. So we're just sort of gently moving that energy down, stretching out that wrist joint. So we're sort of bending like this, right? So I'm not doing anything with my shoulder. And then the other side, just stretch that one out, just until you feel a gentle tension. Nothing major, just enough to feel a pull or a stretch. And again, back to your right. Very good. And the other side. Good. Okay, let's flip them over. Now this is the back of your hand and the fingertips pointing out. And we're just going to push on this one first. Now again, we're just trying to bend this sort of wrist angle here by pushing gently with the forearm pressing towards the palm of your hand. And then over here, gently pressing this forearm towards this palm. Just stretching it out. And again, over to this side. Very good. And this side. Make sure you've got the whole hand down, not just the knuckles. Okay. All right. Feeling nice and loosened up. Let's do our tiger's claw exercise. So now my hands are going to be down here. We're stretching out, and this is very good for carpal tunnel or arthritis in the hands. We're just going to stretch open the hands as far as you can. See if you can stretch them so wide open that it feels like a tight glove. This is a strength exercise, so you need to go at your own pace. Especially if you're having any pain in the arms, just take it right up to the edge of that without pushing. Then slowly turn it into a claw, tipping over the edges of your fingers and starting to squeeze, and use all the strength you can. Keep breathing. Take a couple deep breaths, and then slowly squeezing that in fist, all your strength. Give me a couple smiles, right? Yeah. Elbows slightly bent, wrists straight. And relax. Very good. Now we have to do it at least 3 times. So here's our second one. Stretch it out. This is very good for bringing the chi down to the fingertips. Imagine you're about to grab onto a bowling ball and you're trying to get your fingers around it. It's really heavy. And then you squeeze that down to the size of a baseball. And then you squeeze that down to the size of a golf ball. And squeezing tightly. Keep breathing, that's good. And relax. Good. One last time, here we go. And you can do these 5 to 7 times if you want when you're practicing at home. Stretching, you should feel this like a tight glove. Opening, sending energy out from the fingertips, curling over. Remember, tiger's claw, so right? Feel that energy coming in, yes. Elbows released, right? Nice and unlocked. And squeezing. And does anybody notice a few aches and pains somewhere in the arm? Because if you have any problems in those meridians, you'll feel a little bit of a dull ache in that area. And that tells you the chi is being pushed through there. Okay, a little bit of the wave to loosen it up. So gently loosening up those hands. Yes. So now our hands are nice and energized. And remember that there's a small move you can do here for lowering blood pressure. You can send your thumbs down along the tips of your fingers. And that's sort of both a psychosomatic suggestion, and also remember that our meridians end in the fingertips and begin in the fingertips here, so we can really feel that energy settling down. If you want to raise your blood pressure, you lift up a little bit. So those are little cues you can give your body as you're working with your blood pressure. Okay, now let's sit back in our chairs a little bit and take those energized hands down to the dantian. Bring the energy up from there. Imagine you can feel a ball of golden light. And as that stickiness is being pulled apart, then lean back in your chair and just open up. And then a nice self-hug. And opening way up forward, stretch back, lean back in your chair with a deep in-breath. And as we come forward, tuck your chin, round your back, grab onto the backs of your shoulder blades. And again, opening up. Don't forget to switch off which hand you're putting on top. So coming forward again, nice gentle tuck, rounding the back. Couple more. Just go at your own pace. Feel that nice openness. Remember that we're stimulating the lung meridian here too, because the lung meridian actually runs from the inside of the arm all the way down to the thumb, and you can feel that as you open up. Take a deep breath. And now last time, bring that energy forward and down. And give yourself a really good hug. Okay, good. Coming back up. Excellent. Sliding to the front of your chair again. It's time for our belly dancing move. Didn't think you were going to learn belly dancing today, huh? Bring your hands up. And now just gently swinging the rib cage around. This one's called the marble in the bowl. So you imagine that your rib cage is a bowl and you're swinging a marble around in it, circulating that chi. And you want to try tipping both side to side and front and back to create a full circle. And then go the other way. Very good. You can lower your hands down if you have any problems with your shoulders. You can keep going. This is a really good one to do if you've been sitting for a long period of time, because you can really relax the lower back, go the other way. All right, and another really good back stretch. Let your legs set nice and flat and try not to move them for this next one, okay? And we're just going to turn over to your right and grab onto your chair and gently pull and look way over to your right. And then slowly come back. Now try not to move your feet again and just turn this way. And stretch. Just use the chair a little bit to help stretch your back out. And slowly back. And again, stretching. And back. One more time over here. And just be careful if you have any problems with your ribs or your spine. Okay, now we're going to do the Qigong version. Bring that energy up again. Let's see if we can drop our elbows down, but have the hands nice and high. And they're fairly far in front of you here. Okay. Holding on to that ball of chi, and we're going to turn again using the waist muscles. Look way over to your right and twist as far as you can, and then slowly come back. This is a great one for trimming the waistline. And then go to the other side, and slowly back. Breathing in and out. And in breath. Now lower the hands down, and you can continue again. If you have any problems with your shoulders or arms, you can keep your hands low through these moves and still get a great effect. Okay, bringing the hands back to the dantian. Put some of that good chi in the dantian there. Okay, now that our spines are all nice and loosened up, let's loosen up our knees a little bit before we stand up. So extending your right foot, just point and flex, stretching out that ankle. This is again just focusing on a range of motion in the ankle. Let's switch off and go to the other foot. Your left foot pointing and flexing. And just look for any differences between your feet and be aware of them as you're stretching, because just the awareness will bring the chi to the area. And again, back to your right, and circle, nice big round circles with your toes. And the other direction, just loosening up that ankle. And again, the other side, circling. Also helps to bring the chi down through the knee into the foot, and the other way. All right, let's stand up now. So just push back those chairs and step wide with your feet, hands on your hips. And let's get that chi going down in the lower dantian by circling the hips. And this one's called cleaning out the barrel. So imagine you're standing in a barrel and you're just using your hips to work the energy all the way around as if you were cleaning it out. And going the other way. This is very good for the ball and socket joint of the hip. So you might want to feel that nice energizing of the hip joint. It's sort of like WD-40 for the hips. If you have an artificial hip, be a little careful with this one. You can also do very small movements if that's better for you. Okay, now fingertips in. Let's step in just a little bit more back to our shoulders width and swing the monkey's tail between its legs, back and forth, with a very nice, gentle pelvic rock. So see if you can go forward when I go forward and backward when I go backward. Very good. So now we're just swinging the monkey's tail between its legs, working the sacral area. Very good for the lower chakras. Okay, good. And now an exercise just like the tiger's claw that we did with our hands, we're going to do with our feet. So imagine you're grabbing onto the floor with your toes. And if you have bare feet, you can really feel that. Even if you're wearing shoes, curl up your toes inside those shoes and feel as though you're working the energy of the sole of your foot. Right around the kidney 1 point. Lots of good energy rising up through the bubbling brook. Very good. Okay, now stepping to the right side of your chair, just come alongside of your chair. Use it as sort of a balancing point if you need it, okay? And we're going to again practice something that's very good for working on the balance of our body, sinking the chi down through our legs. And so we're going to shift our weight over to your right leg and sink down and see if you can pick up that left foot ever so carefully. Just a little bit. Use your chair if you need it. Very good. And then place the foot again. This exercise is particularly good for the seniors out there because it helps to prevent falls. See if you can pick up your right foot and just balance. Good. And then sinking down again. See if you can, if you're doing well with this, pick up that knee as high as you can go. See how far you can lift. Just sink down, whatever's comfortable for you. Good. And then slowly back down. Good. And the other side, sinking down. And you don't have to lift it very high if you don't want. So just go at your own pace. See if you can pick up that foot. Great. Shifting back now. Back into your right leg. Extend your left foot and just point and flex. And if you have any trouble with your balance, you can stare at a point on the floor. Helps you to keep your balance a little bit better. And then the other side, down to the opposite leg. Extending that foot and point and flex. Good, and then setting it down again, extend the opposite foot and circles. So circling the foot all the way around, just relaxing, breathing deeply, and the other way. If you find this really easy, try closing your eyes and doing it. That's another challenge. And then settling down again and balancing, circling your foot. Good, other way. Okay, very good. Now let's waken up those feet with a little bit of stomping. Get that chi down into the ground. And add some clapping. That gets the secondary hand chakras working. Very good. And I applaud you for successfully completing another Qigong workout. May your efforts be rewarded with great health and wonderful energy.